Yo, Lithium Magazine viewers, this is Aaron again, and I'm here with Odonis Odonis. You are
Dean
and
Denim.
And you guys are, of course, in Odonis Odonis. Amazingly enough, that's what I just said for the second time. So how's it feel to be back in Toronto?
Pretty good. It's a good place to start. Yeah.
And who the hell are those guys?
That's the rest of the band. I don't know.
So you guys just came back from Montreal, played there last night. How was it?
It was awesome. It was a great time. Yeah. Just did Pop Montreal. So.
Which is a pretty awesome little thing that's going on.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Everybody was there, yeah. Grizzly Bear, Liars, all those bands.
Yeah.
Great bands.
Of course, you'd mentioned Liars being kind of a favorite band of your bands.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some of your other favorite bands. For example, well, what's that guy's name? Steve something or other?
Albini.
That's the one.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, you guys derive a lot of your influence from this guy. He's a fantastic producer, excellent musician. And what's the attraction for you guys?
I like more of just. I don't like his production as much. Well, he's good. He's like a good engineer.
Know. You can't say that.
He's a good engineer, yeah. I like, but his music for me personally, Shellac and Big Black.
But
aggressive, nerdy.
Yeah.
Aggressive and nerdy. Yeah.
Well, I just talked to Indian Handcrafts. They were all up on the Melvins, which is kind of aggressive and nerdy. I'd say they're actually the kings of aggressive and nerdy.
Definitely.
These guys just aren't going to stop, I don't think. But how did you guys figure that into your music? I mean, you just put out a fairly good album, and
It was okay.
I mean, I'm only giving it an 80% or better out of 100%.
Oh, okay.
I'll take that.
But how did that work? With Odonis Odonis, and we are here to finish this interview. You can see these guys here have hopped off the bike, and well, they now have a cart full of beer. Yeah, I'm just glad you're not riding. Who would I interview? I guess I could fake it. So, what do you think, guys? Oh, it's really good, this show tonight. So, how stoked are you guys to be back in Toronto after a night in Montreal? You've had a couple more beers. You seem a little more lively these days, or this hour, compared to last. How you feeling?
Great, yeah, it's good. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk new album, because you're putting one out.
Yeah, it should be March, it's looking like. Yeah.
Now, you guys were originally aiming for this year, correct?
Yeah.
And then?
We decided to push it back. Like, there's a lot going on. We're still like riding out the holidays thing, so it just seemed to make sense to give it a little bit of a break and like hit hard in the new year, around spring.
Go for March 17th, my birthday. I mean, that's really the best day possible to release an album.
That sounds like a good day.
17th, your birthday.
Yes. Sweet. So, a band I insulted kind of earlier is... This is wicked. 80% or more.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not
really that.
That's like a
All
good
right. So, I'm the bell curve of journalists. So, let's talk about your progression, guys. Every band should progress. If you don't, you end up being Nickelback. So, how are you guys progressing?
The most successful band in the world.
Detroit doesn't really like them, so I'm just going to stick with that. But every good band, I should say, progresses. So with Hollandaise, you guys had a really nice sound, very full, robust, lots of things coming at you from different angles, if I can speak metaphysically. But what are you guys planning for the new one? What have you been writing like?
The new one is like a hybrid album. The first half is like pretty heavy and oh my god. It's like I can't. How can I do this? It's pretty heavy, like industrial. The first half, it's kind of rocking, and I don't know. And then it's pretty heavy. And then the second half is like something you haven't heard the band do at all. So it's just gonna throw you for a loop.
And it was done in a professional studio too.
Yeah. Which
The
the
first
first
one-
one's like pretty lo-fi.
Yeah, bedroom. And this one's full studio.
Yeah, you could definitely pick up on that for sure, which isn't a bad thing. I think if you start that way, it's kind of good because then when you get into the studio, you're like, oh,
Well, at least
we can do
there's
this.
room to move up, right? Whereas like if you start with like full studio record, I think.
So what was that like being in a studio? I mean, that must have been just glorious.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. It wasn't that Hollandaise couldn't have been in a studio, just like the sound of that record at the time, like just the way it was. We left it that way. But this one just needed this treatment. It needs to be done this way, and I think it benefits a lot from it.
So, have you guys been listening to different music then? I know in a recent interview that you guys did, you were saying you've been listening to a lot of Toronto bands lately. Is that still true?
We kind of always have to listen to Toronto bands because we're always going to our friends' shows and stuff. But there's definitely a lot of new albums we're listening to. When we listened to Swans in the car the other day.
Swans has been the record. The new Swans album we've been listening to a lot.
So, what do you like about that, where you just keep going back to it and taking influence from that kind of stuff?
What do you mean?
What is attractive about it to you guys?
Well, it's kind of like recharging the batteries. You gotta I think at certain times you're just like, you spill everything out that sometimes you just have to recharge.
You gotta flush the toilet.
Yeah, you gotta flush the toilet.
Yeah.
And then you have to let it recharge, and then you flush again. So we've been kind of recharging, taking in a bunch of new influences, and
Plunging where necessary.
Necessary.
getting backed up.
Well, actually, what is one thing that you guys think you've cut as a band from Hollandaise to now?
Cut out?
Yeah.
The surf elements I think are going to be dropped. It's getting a little. It seemed the new album's a little more. It's quite a bit more serious in tone. It's still fun to me, but it's
definitely not as much of a party album.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So less summer, more winter.
Yeah, it's definitely a winter album, which is why it makes sense to drop it closer to winter. So.
All right. And what can people expect from you guys live?
Good time. Yeah.
Easy answer. Make it better.
Make it better?
Make it better.
Make it better.
Well, you guys are known to have a fairly lively show. I'll put it that way.
Sound really fun. Yeah, we don't cut corners with our live show.
All right, that's a much better answer. You're cut, man. Get out of this interview.
Corner, we're cut.
All right, we're actually done anyway. Thank you, Lithium viewers, for checking this out. This has been Odonis Odonis. I don't know what happened to the other two guys. I guess they got tired or something. Anything else you'd like to say to the world?
Do.
Peace.